Now recording, everybody say something.
Hello.
All right, I do believe I am screen recording as well. All right, we were going to do a live play today, but instead we have, I don't know, 3 people out. So instead we're doing this.
There was a couple of people who were going to be late.
Yeah, and Sean is going to be, what, like 30 minutes late? So Sean's just going to hop into this with no context.
Yep.
I'm not starting a new series with that many people missing.
At least he'll be here for this one.
He'll be here in spirit.
Because he ended up missing out on the last two.
He did, and Kyle still hasn't built his sheet yet.
He also hasn't been feeling very good lately.
Yeah. Well, that's him all the time. We've been doing a whole bunch of D&D videos when we don't have anything else prepared. So we're doing one on races this time. We have myself, we have Ryan, we have Dan, subscriber now turned cast member, and we have me being with us. And Sean might come in, ignore the Craig bot that is just a bot recording the audio. Why are you using Craigbot? So I can master everybody's audio in post, that's why. So, D&D 5e has how many races? A lot, right?
A shit ton.
All of them. They have like a lot.
Yeah, we're going to look at this from a purely meta and mechanical point of view as to which one is better, which one is worse. So I think you look at the ratings, we kind of know like standard fare, where F is so mechanically poor, there's no real point in playing it, versus S tier, where the race is overpowered and kind of takes away from the game.
Cool.
So you're looking for a happy little spot on A tier is where you want to be.
I'd be okay with B tier.
So you'll be okay. You're making a pun, aren't you?
How about
it's one of those classic Ryan puns?
Can you add like an extra tier that's set to make it like S tier, not fun?
See,
so like
well, that's what S tier is in general.
I mean, like
see, add a row above. I click that row above. There it is.
Like,
yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so put it like S tier where it gets overpowered. It's not fun.
See, too strong. No fun. Not fun. It's not fun.
Just not fun.
See, in F. See, and change the code to that. Make it black. See, paint it black, Ren. There we go. All right, let's begin with let's just go down the line alphabetically. Let's begin with the Aarakocra.
Cool. I like
All right, so Aarakocra, the only reason you're playing as this is because you want to fly. That's the only reason you're playing as this.
Well, there are builds you can do with it. Like, for example, if you have the polearm mastery, you can just like peck them from above and just like they can't reach you.
Yeah, because going down the line, I'm not too worried about the ability score increases. I'm just looking at abilities from my perspective. You don't live older than 30 years. So if you're up against stuff like the Phage, you just... I'm probably getting the monster's name wrong. It's the undead creature that ages you every time it attacks you. You can just die of old age in-game as an Aarakocra if you're fighting the wrong enemy. Along with that, you only have a base speed of 25, not 30. You do have a 50-foot flying speed, but keep in mind you can't do that while wearing heavy or medium armor. And you do have talons, but when was the last time you ever used those?
We have a flying base speed of like 50.
So I'm just going to put this, like, it's flight. Flight is just really strong. So I'm just going to say this is just off of the flight alone. I'm just going to put this in high B tier from my perspective.
I'll say B tier, yeah.
I would say high C.
High C? Because, yeah, the flight is the only thing that's going on for the Aarakocra.
Yeah, because like once you get to higher levels, the flight count is redundant. So I'd say like...
But by that point, you've got a Broom of Flying, and you don't really need anything else. You've got spellcasters casting Fly. You've got other people that are using magical items. Call your local artificer, get them to build something.
I have to pull up my actual player's handbook. D&D Beyond doesn't have Aarakocra as a legacy. It only has the new Morton's run.
I hate that they call it legacy. It makes me feel... It's like the OK Boomer when you look at D&D games.
Wait, Aarakocra wasn't even...
Something about it just rubs me the wrong way. But this does get a little bit better in the Morning Canon book because now they have innate spells. They have Gust of Wind as a spell.
Yeah, but then the ability score thing is stupid though. What they do that to all the races.
And the talons, it's now a D6 instead of a D4, and uses your strength mod. So yeah, I'm gonna say the very bottom of B tier or the highest of C tier is where I'd put the Aarakocra.
I'd say yeah, B or C is fine.
Meepy, you got an idea?
I would put him in C tier because being a bird sucks.
Yeah. Being a bird. You know how easy it is to break a bird's
We're talking about
bones?
mechanics though, not for flavor.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta be aware of flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. It after all, any of these races can be anything in terms of flavor. It's up to you and your party and the homebrew game that you're a part of.
I say flavor, I mean like lore is what I mean by flavor.
Lore, the same lore that's now being destroyed by Wizards of the Coast. There is no Maglubiet. All goblins are fairies.
I would still say high C because your base walking speed is 25.
Yeah,
you're useless in a cave. Yeah,
I mean, if you're in a dungeon too, if you're in a tight wall dungeon, if you're playing the module that this race was introduced in, Princes of the Apocalypse, there are so few instances where you can actually use the flying speed because of just how narrow the dungeon is.
The fact that you have
here's the thing, like depending on how you play, like speed is actually kind of redundant, especially when you're not using a map.
Yeah, but
I beg to differ as a monk player.
Armor. The fact that you can't wear medium or heavy armor because of your flight speed.
Yeah, that also kind of sucks too as well.
They enjoy being pigeonholed and playing a rogue.
Yeah, I guess C would actually make sense.
Okay, that's enough for the Aarakocra. Let's talk about an actually strong race. Let's talk about the Aasimar.
S.
The Aasimar.
Okay. I'm actually putting that in A tier.
A tier.
And A for Aasimar. Because there is no real downside or bad feature to playing an Aasimar. You've got 3 different variations of it, and all of them are super strong. I mean, you come out right out the gate with Dark Vision. I noticed that 2D Aarakocra doesn't have Dark Vision. Celestial Resistance, resistance to necrotic and radiant damage? Are you kidding me? Healing Hands, the light cantrip at all times. And that's before you get to Protector and Scourge, so that's already really strong. But then you go to your
great.
Oh, that's coming clutch. Dog, I just got Alpha Game where we had an Aasimar Paladin, and just how strong that combination is. But then you go into the sub races with Protector, with the Radiant Soul, the Scourge's Radiant Consumption, and then the Fallen's Necrotic Shroud. None of those are bad features, so there is no downside to playing them.
Like I've played the Protector and the I haven't played the Scourge, but like the Fallen and the Protector, even those like I enjoyed. Like the Aasimars are good both like mechanically, also just like flavor wise too, and even as you progress to higher levels, they're still pretty good. Like none of their abilities get redundant or become obsolete.
Always good to have on you.
The variant's a little lackluster, but it's still pretty good. Not only do you get the light, but you get less restoration and daylight.
My only gripe with it is that it can get a little Mary Sue-ish, depending on who is actually playing it.
Yeah.
I've seen an evil Scourge Aasimar in a game. I ran Lost Mine of Phandelver, and we had an Oathbreaker Scourge Aasimar. That was a very unique combination, and that guy was just the angel of death in the game. That was a really fun character too. He was playing a lawful evil Aasimar on top of that, and that kind of combination, that level of damage combined with the radiant consumption, that created a really fun character. In character he was a dick, but probably one of my favorite players. Probably one of my favorite players I've ever had at a table. Come to think of it. But
yeah, I think we're good for this one, Aasimar.
No, yeah, Aasimar's good. Meepy, you agree?
Yeah, if not even S tier, but at least A.
It doesn't have a broken ability, which is why I'm going to say it's probably not S. I mean, we're going to talk about the S tier and just probably towards the end of the video. I'm looking at him right now. His name starts with a Y.
Portal.
Let's see, Bugbear. Pretty lackluster in all honesty. The Bugbear is good if you're doing like a rogue build, but then that's kind of it, really. You've got Dark Vision, you've got, say, the Reach, the long limb, or 5 extra feet of reach. Yeah, it's very nice to have.
That's good with any
Reach is
melee.
pretty good, actually. Never saw that.
And then powerful build on top of that, sneaky and surprise attack. The thing is that surprise attack doesn't go off as much as you think it does. It's good to have basically the assassin rogue's ability on you at all times. But I've only ever seen this go off once in a game. And top of that, Bugbear's not really that popular of a class. Not class, a race.
A race.
So it's fine, but I'm not gonna say this is anything too excellent.
Yeah, I would
Like,
say
It's just
it feels like the race was like designed for a specific type of like build and nothing else.
if
Yeah.
you do
Which is basically melee,
barbarian fighter.
no
an
arcane
ambush
work.
melee build.
Yeah, like no arcane, no magic using. So
Yeah,
I would say C.
Yeah, it's C. It's C. It's okay. It's just okay.
Yeah, I think you also have to take into account that bugbears are a monster race. So
Yeah,
in a lot of
well,
campaigns, that's going to be a social suicide.
Yeah, you're
A
pretty
lot of
playing as
people are going to be
Bigfoot.
against you. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead, drop him to C. We're in consensus with that.
I forgot I was doing the dragging and dropping.
Your mission.
Right.
We've had Kyle do this for so long. We just okay. Well, who's next? Centaur. Debating between A and B with this one because you can get some crazy builds with a Centaur. Because yeah, it's hard for you to climb walls because you got hooves, but the size is good. The speed is 40 feet. Top of that, what else you've got? You've got Fey Heritage, so creature type being Fey along with humanoid. The charge ability, that's fantastic if you've got the right build. The hooves and just how players can ride you, and you just get proficiency in animal handling, medicine, nature, or survival. It's all good abilities. But when you combine this with stuff like, say, the Piercer builds with a halberd, or if you got a monk with Step of the Wind, and the ridiculous levels of speed you can get, or I don't know, a rogue centaur, and you're using dash as with your cunning action, you can get some very fun, ridiculous combat builds with the centaur.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not in our server, but a guy I play D&D with on Wednesday audits has been telling me about his 120-foot movement speed centaur, and I'm gonna say B tier with the centaur. It's good. It's just good all around. It's just a good race.
I'd say C.
Yeah,
C
I
or
would say
D.
C as well.
C or D, because like
well, why do you say
the idea that centaurs are medium-sized creature is dumb. Okay, because you have horses that are large creature, and you have a centaur that is. Yeah, that's one thing. You can't mount anything. You can't mount anything when you're a centaur.
Yeah.
The halfling.
And
no, you're the mount.
Yeah, but let's say you can if you have no magical slots for boots or pants, anything like that.
Well, why just
you
make
could
a
wear a
horseshoe?
belt, but that's about it.
Just make the boots to a horseshoe. Get your artificer on it. That's what the artificer's for. To make your stuff into new stuff.
And also,
artificers get limited slots. They can't just continuously make stuff. It takes
you can't continually make stuff, but that's why you gotta be smart with the artificer. So
you also stand out a lot in the crowd.
You can't enter in buildings.
Can't enter in buildings. You can't sleep on a bed.
Your ass is too big.
So, yeah. I would agree with C.
Maybe what do you think about this?
At least above Bugbear.
It's C or D.
Yeah, maybe what are you thinking?
I'm still thinking B. It's doesn't really have any huge detriments And
Yeah.
also, we have to keep in mind those fine centaur titties.
Yeah, so put the centaur above the Aarakocra in C tier. Then I'm willing to compromise.
All right.
Yeah. So there we go. That's fine. All right, changeling. S tier. Automatically. That changing ability to just change your appearance to look like any humanoid. That if you got a creative enough player, dog. There's no short rest or long rest detriment to that. You can just do that whenever. You can just duplicate the appearance of any humanoid creature that you've seen. And if you've got a thick charisma stat, you can just use that to your benefit in so many different creative ways. On top of that, a natural
it sounds
for deception.
It feels OP.
That's
the thing. It feels overpowered though.
That's it. That's exactly just put an S tier.
I would agree with you as well, because another thing, technically, if someone say makes a portrait of someone,
yes,
the changeling, because they've seen that portrait, could theoretically change into that person.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm not really sure if it's overpowered enough to actually be not fun though, because I haven't tried playing a changeling. I never had a changeling in my games before.
Oh, so. I've the first campaign I was a part of, we had a changeling in the party, and that was a very fun character to watch play. There was that was a changeling rogue, and that was just as chaotic as you thought it was going to be.
Well, let me put it this way.
That was a very fun character to see in action.
If everybody in the party was a changeling, how fun would that be?
You could just gotta sleep with one eye open. You have no idea who's who.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing in it that breaks the game or makes it too hard for a DM to run a game. So yeah, it's just in solid S tier. The only thing that's preventing it from being the best class in the game is that it gets nothing in terms of combat.
Yeah.
You get no boost in terms of combat, but if you're smart enough with your roleplay, you don't need that.
The new, I'm pretty sure the new changeling gets a thing
where it gets,
see if I can
I don't know,
it.
even stronger. The changing instincts where behold, you get an extra proficiency option. They added performance to it. So
maybe not. I thought changeling had the thing where it's like you can show your true form and roll an intimidation or some shit like that.
Yeah, that I think that might have been in the Unearthed Arcana.
Oh, maybe.
That was in Unearthed Arcana. Yeah, I see it now. I see it. It was unearthed. Yeah. That would have been fantastic. that
would have made it even more broken.
We would have had something that would have put the Yuan Ti pureblood in contested territory. Wow. All right. So yeah, solid S tier. Dragonborn. If you're talking about Player's Handbook, I just put this in C, but thanks to 5e's Treasury of Dragons, it got a massive buff.
It has a lot of options you can do with it, so I'd say put it in A, or maybe...
Yeah. It's the Wrath Knight, the Dragon Blood, nobody really cares about those two. It's the 5e's variations that you're looking for.
I'd say a solid A, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, Myrick Fire and Tinamar was one of my favorite characters I've ever played as, who is this thinks with his dick kind of red dragonborn. And that immunity to fire that you could get with chromatic warding, that saved me in so many different combat encounters. When you're fighting 5 death slots in a tight room that are all casting fireball on you, and you walk through that entire combat encounter without taking damage, that gives you a high in combat. That was such a great moment as a player. So yeah, definitely A tier. Definitely A tier.
I agree.
Yeah. Top of that with the breath weapon, how the metallic gets 2 different kinds of breath weapon, and then the gem dragon gets telepathy. It's all just like really just good, strong features. None of them break the game in any way. It's just a strong class, strong race to play as.
I played a Ravenite Dragonborn, and they what was it called?
What was it called?
Give me a second. I have
Use
it right here.
20% of your brain. Think about it.
Oh fuck! He got rid of it. No, you bastard.
No, it's gone forever. You have lost the archive.
Oh, it was called Ebon-Clad. It was a Ebon-Clad campaign setting.
Yeah.
Kind of like a thieves rogue, or not a thieves rogue, thieves guild type deal.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
But I played a Ravenite Dragonborn Barbarian. He was
nice
fucking
combination.
great.
See,
He was an unarmed guy.
I'm just imagining the power right now. Let's see who else do we have? Dwarf. The dwarf has kind of fallen off in terms of the meta. Where
the dwarf. Here's the thing: dwarves are great. It's just that and like similar stuff they have, it's good. You know,
they're just not as strong as they used to be.
I mean, they have like for starting off with like combat training, you have proficiency with the battle axe and the hammers and the tool
hand
proficiency
axe,
as well.
The tool proficiencies, stone cutting, dark vision.
Like the fact that your speed is reduced to 25.
Yeah, 25 sucks.
It's not reduced when you're wearing heavy armor. That's probably a good thing, but
yeah. And
limiting your short races to 25 feet is
that just stinks no matter what game you're playing.
I mean, mechanically, like it's not bad. It's just kind of boring. Well, I don't even want to say that because I like dwarves. You know, like
I like dwarves too. I like the advantage to saving throws against poison and the resistance against poison. That's great.
I just like the
lore
and
the
like
hill dwarf where you get toughness. That pays
culture,
off in the long
lore
run.
and the culture behind it, right? So like you know.
Yeah, because everybody loves Gimli in Lord of the Rings. Everybody loves the dwarf. You want to play
everybody loves
boisterous
bearded
dwarf.
little rascals, you know.
One thing there are two things I don't like. So one of the things was speed. The other is stone cutting. I don't ever use it. I can't.
Now, when was the last time you used stone cutting? Be honest.
I use it all the time in my current campaign, which is a dungeon delve.
Now, what setting was that?
The Mad Mage, Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Yep, I've used it before.
Okay, if you're playing a certain game where you're underground, then it's going to pay off. But if you're doing something like, I don't know, Dragon Heist, when is that ever going to come up?
What if you're appraising like jewels or stones?
See, you gotta be in the right situation for that. You gotta have a storyteller.
When you're finding treasure,
I've been playing World of Darkness for so long, I'm calling it storyteller now. You gotta have a dungeon master who's actually going to have that prepared for you.
Yeah, but every dungeon master I've played with has told me that I needed proficiency with jeweler's tools in order to.
And let's be honest here, D&D 5e has got a lot of crappy ass dungeon masters in it.
I mean, if you want to find out the history of a castle, maybe.
Yeah. It all depends on who's actually running it. But like, one thing
I will say, the amount of bad DMs I've had.
One thing I will say about the dwarven race is that even throughout every edition of D&D, they have never been bad.
Yeah,
they've always been good.
It's that there's nothing that's detrimental to them, but they are not as strong as the other races. So I'm gonna say it's B. It's B. It's just it's good, but there's better options out there.
Like the best option that I can see out of the dwarf, at least the sub races, is the dwarf.
Yeah, like you can't go wrong with dwarves, and they're safe. You know, they're a safe choice. You know,
I like them.
If you're in a low fantasy D&D game, it's just a good option to take with you. It's probably better than playing a human or a halfling, but there's nothing overly glamorous about being a dwarf.
Yeah, I'm choosing half orc over dwarf anytime.
I have a destructive thought. Was in Baldur's Gate 3, was there a dwarf NPC in your party at any point?
No, I don't think so.
What the fuck? What? Why?
Actually, I don't think I saw a dwarf at all during Act 1.
Where are the dwarves? Where's the dwarves? Baldur's Gate, you got some explain to do.
They might be in the
And I found the word dwarf offensive, so I didn't put him in there.
No, sweet baby got to them. Okay, go on to the line. All right, everybody's favorite elf. Okay.
Elf is either A or S tier, I'd say.
It's your favorite cum
Really?
goddess. Let's see, let's go through the line.
I've never
Base,
really played an elf.
let's see, walking speed 30 feet, dark vision, Fey ancestry, trance, which is what you're here for.
You don't
Not
need
going
to
to full sleep during a long rest and only need 4 hours. That's good. If your dungeon master is being very strict with his long rest, that's just good to have. Along with, say, keen senses, where perception is one of those skills in D&D that there's no reason to not take it if it's available as a proficiency.
Getting an extra
can-
and just getting an extra cantrip if you're a high elf is amazing. Like
Yeah,
all the
get-
sub races for like elves are great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the wood
only
elf.
one I
is
really would go for was Wood Elf.
The wood elf, it gets like 5 extra movement speed, where that's fine. And Mask of
Or
the Wild, it depends on the game. But you have the high elf with an extra cantrip and the weapon training, and then the drow with the drow magic
The
and
drow
that
are
improved dark
exactly.
vision. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know about sunlight sensitivity. That's not that big of an issue. You know how to work around sunlight sensitivity.
Sunglasses.
The
It's fine.
the drow is really strong in terms of races.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, not as strong as the Dragonborn. I'm gonna say, look at the
Is
other
the
ones too.
are the Dwemer in here? Are the Dwemer in here?
I don't think so.
Okay, because when we talked about the dwarves, maybe we should have brought up the Dwemer, but I mean, like,
Yeah, the Duergar.
The
sorry.
Durgar and the Drow.
Sorry,
Yeah,
the
two.
Durgars.
Yeah, the
Durgar.
Duergar are
Sorry,
okay. Yeah.
I did bring up the
I
Durgar.
messed up the names.
Yeah, and the Paladin elf is also pretty fine. You get light, sleep, and invisibility, which is, and you also get investigation checks and insight checks with advantage.
Did they
So
bring in
they're-
wild elves from the from like
I wish they
3.
did. Oh,
like-
we're not talking about the astral elf. If we were talking about the astral elf, that would be S tier. Just how outrageously powerful with, I don't know, dancing lights, light, or sacred flame as your extra cantrip, along with the keen senses, the starlight step, and the astral trance.
What about the
And then-
airborne?
Starlight Step is fucking
What about the airborne elves? Don't they have like increase to their strength or something?
Nah, we don't have it in 5e.
No. Oh, okay.
I mean, there's the Eladrin.
Yeah, we do have that, where there is the Eladrin, and yeah, if we're bringing the Eladrin into the mix, yeah, go ahead and put the elf in A tier. Go ahead and put it in A tier.
Above Dragonborn or below?
Below Dragonborn. The dragon.
There's also
The
Shatter Guy and C.
I'd say, but I'd say
C is pretty good. I like
Yeah.
C.
Okay, you just
I'd
remind
say
me
it's
that the
fine,
Shatter
yeah.
Kai exists. Put above Dragonborn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, now we're talking about the Shatter Kai. Yeah, it's definitely better than Dragonborn. Yeah, we've all played D&D. We know what this
Like-
is. Maybe what do you
Like
think?
Dragonborn, there's not much you can do with it, but like there's more variety with elves. I find because there's so many different
Exactly.
builds you can do.
It's like the Dragonborn has a more fun toolkit from my perspective, but the elf, their abilities are just active all the time. Hello, D&D Beyond. There we are. Yeah, there you go. There's all your different variations of the elf. Maybe we got any ideas on the elf?
Yeah, elves are. I mean, the problem with being an elf is you have to play an elf, and that's
Yeah.
its own punishment.
You gotta be the asshole of the party.
I mean, like I'd say even S tier is actually good because it just has so variety and it's so versatile. Like elves are just
Well, it doesn't have any sort of damage resistances or an ability you can just use all the
Yeah.
time.
And
Yeah.
it's the sub races are, there's not many that are above the others. So it's like it
ability you can
evens
use all the
itself.
time.
There
You
are
get an
good
extra
ones and
cantrip.
bad
That's
ones.
something you can use all the time.
See, with the extra cantrip, well, at the same time, it's a cantrip. Just play a sorcerer.
Or a wizard.
You get all the cantrips you could ever ask for.
Especially wizard. You can inscribe them into your whatever, your spell book.
Feral Tiefling put in F. There's no reason to play a Feral Tiefling anymore. You have, I mean, it's 2024 with D&D 5e. This game's been out for 10 years. The Feral Tiefling, used to be decent, but given how ability scores work now, there's no reason you should ever play as a Feral Tiefling.
I wonder why Feral Tiefling is different than regular Tiefling.
You lose your fucking spellcasting and get an increased dexterity, which is completely irrelevant now. There's just
because of the
there's just no reason to play as that now. Now back in the early days of D&D 5e, that used to be crucial, but now there's no point in doing it. Now there's just no point in playing the Feral Tiefling. So yeah, you see it's right next to the Fear Bulk. Just drop it in F tier. Let's see. What?
Oh,
what?
sorry. I was looking at
is E above F? What the fuck?
That might have been a me thing.
That must have been an accident. I felt like I was losing my mind for a second. All right.
No. E tier stands for extra shitty.
EES. Let's see.
Just
Oh
ES.
my God. Okay, Fearbulk. Let's go with the Fearbulk.
Never played one. Never wanted to play one. Like, because it just kind of I don't know.
I love Fearbulk.
Just speak for the trees have no tongues. It's kind of boring to play as a Fearbulk, but all their abilities are just good. I mean, you've got
love playing magic, my Fearbulk Bard.
Disguise Self, Hidden Step, and Powerful Build, along with Speech of Beast and Leaf. Dog, the amount of times you're going to use that?
Like
it sounds like it's great.
Like Fearbulk seems like it's like built towards like a certain like type of class.
It's built towards Druid.
You are pigeonholed in playing Druid with this.
But I mean, you can build like a fighter or like a melee kind of base character with Fearbulk.
You can, but basically every Fearbulk I've ever seen has played the same.
I played a Bard.
Yeah, I know. Like it's usually a spellcaster. That's the thing.
Yeah, your beautiful cow giant. Okay, so yeah,
that was Goliath. I was gonna say I played a Fearbulk Rogue, but I realized it was a giant.
At face value, I'd say B, like above the dwarf.
So
honestly, I would say C, high C.
I was gonna say B above the dwarf, because
really,
Hidden Step turning you invisible, along with the detect magic just by itself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I see that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd put that above the dwarf. There's nothing glamorous about the Fearbulk, but it's just good stuff. Just better options out there, like the Genasi. Now, if we were talking about the Genasi as they are presented in Elemental Evil, that is a D tier subclass. It's a magical race, but damn, is it disappointing. Damn, it's so lame with the innate spellcasting. How
it's just
dingy
human.
The spells are.
It's just human, and then you get traits based on what element you are.
I mean, you get fire resistance as the fire Genasi, you get cold resistance as the water, you get nothing with the earth Genasi, and then you can just breathe forever with 5 extra feet of walking distance as the air Genasi.
I mean, with the earth Genasi, you can do a build with it. I mean, like I know one person that made like a crossbow expert fighter with the earth Genasi, so like he would just mold earth to gain cover, and then he would just fire and peck people off.
See, but because Earthmark is fine and Pass Without Trace is fine, but there's nothing that's jumping out at me with the earth Genasi. Now, if you're talking about Morning Cannons, that came in that saved the Genasi as a race, that because it finally, I don't know, gave them better spells. I mean, the earth Genasi still kind of sucks in comparison with the others, but the air Genasi is now usable, where, I don't know, resistance to lightning damage. The amount of times I've been hit by Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt, yes, please give me that, along with Dark Vision, Unlimited Breath, and then Shocking Grasp, Featherfall, and Levitate. That's good. So I'm gonna count both of them. So in terms of how they're presented in Elemental Evil, that would be D. In terms of Morning Cannons, that would be B. So just put them in C between the Aarakocra and the Minotaur. Minotaur, Bugbear.
I was like, I don't see no Minotaur on this list.
I'd say put it behind the Bugbear, because I think the Bugbear actually is better.
Yeah.
Hey, And the bugbear doesn't need to wait until a short long rest.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said,
And also, here's the one thing. One thing that's bad about the Genasi is they cannot be resurrected because they are kind of soul. Because they're basically a soul itself. So once they die, they're gone. They don't go to an afterlife.
So that's
it's
what
the same with Elf. There's too many. It's equal in the bad and good departments.
yeah. It's just just go ahead, put it behind bugbear. Fuck it. All right, there you go. Gith Yonki, I will fight you on this. I will fight you on this. Fucking love the
F tier.
fuck. I love the Gith Yonki. I love it. I love these guys. That said, I do need to speak some truth about them. Now, astral knowledge, that's just good to have. That's just overall good. But let's pull ourselves away from the latest Morning Cans book. Let's look at Tome of Foes. Decadent Mastery. What the fuck did you just do? It just starts streaming again. That's all I need to do.
Yeah, that would work, but I accidentally closed it.
Yeah, just open it again. That's all you need to do.
We're good.
All right, there we go.
I went to go click the races for dungeons for D&D Beyond, and I accidentally went to my other screen.
Just press the
X
button.
Yeah.
See, so Decadent Mastery, that's just good to have for one language or one tool of my choice, or one skill of my choice I can take. Along with Martial Prodigy, thank you for the free proficiency in light, medium, short swords, long swords, and great swords. Along with Mage Hand, Jump kind of sucks, but Misty Step, thank you for giving me that. So the Gith Yonki just has a good toolkit. And then the Gith Sarai, where you can have a debate as to which one's better, because the Gith Sarai has Mage Hand, Shield, and Detect Thoughts as spells. Along with Mental Discipline that gives you advantage on saving throws against Charm and Frighten, and resistance to psychic damage.
Well, if you ask me, any ability that has the word psionics in it is overpowered to the point that it's not fun. But I also haven't played it.
Psionics. This isn't D&D 3 Psionics. This is D&D 5e Psionics.
Sean,
hello, Sean. We're talking about races.
Races,
races. Open up the
races
screen.
of people or races
like
of
D&D
races of
races.
D&D.
Oh, okay.
White people, S tiered.
This is the critical race theory tier list. We've brought in Dan, our race
Asian,
mentor,
S tiered.
But so Gith Yonki, this is my personal bias talking here. I'm going to put them in B tier above the Fearbog.
Well, we're talking about the Gith as a total because I can't split the Gith into two different options, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Gith and the Gith Sarai. The Gith Yonki and Gith Sarai are both really good.
To be fair, Johnny, you are a bit of a Gith stan.
I do love the Gith. I was playing as Yan before Baldur's Gate 3 came out. I'm not some fucking poser that only likes the Gith because of Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, to be fair, they are a fairly cool race.
I do like them more, and I do love
fantasy, so like the whole
their deep tie-in with
thing is a little
Spelljammer.
meh to me, but yeah.
Remember, it's spelled Gith, not Jith.
Along with Planescape.
The Jith Yankee.
How deeply intertwined they were with Planescape. And
I would have to agree with that, just based on what I'm reading.
Yeah,
what
it's just good. It's just the Gith are just good.
They are. They're also a fairly well designed class, and they're a race rather, and there aren't
put an S tier.
Many.
You fucker, get him out of F. What are you doing? See, I'm gonna fight you on this. I'm gonna fight you. Right, I'm gonna reach through the stream. I'm gonna strangle you for this.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. All right.
I'd agree. They're definitely S tier.
What are you doing?
They're not above Aasimar. Okay, I would say that.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I don't know. I'd put them above Aasimar.
Yeah.
Aasimar are pretty high.
Put it right behind. Put it right behind Dragonborn. Actually, in A tier.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, they're just They're just good. There's nothing.
They are
There
solid.
is no downside to them.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gnomes.
Gnomes. Okay. This
Automatic S tier.
Nepian,
Not
I
fun.
know you played as Elmasiva. I know you have personal connection to the gnomes, but I gotta speak some truth. What are
What?
you doing?
Why?
What are you? Well, first of all, 25-foot walking speed. You've got dark
Yeah.
vision, which is good. You've got advantage on charisma, intelligence, and wisdom saving throws. That's good.
It's not S
But
tier.
natural illusionist, minor illusion is not as good of a cantrip as you think it is.
I'd say
I-
right above dwarf.
I
can
love
be.
Minor Illusion though.
But
do
it's
too,
not
actually.
as malleable as you think it is. Where it's the illusion wizard, where you get the moving illusion. It's one static image. It's
image.
one sound.
It's
Yeah.
good if you know.
Here's the thing, though.
Illusion
Minor
magic is only
as
good as the player who plays it.
That's exactly
So-
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Minor illusion, things like shape water and prestidigitation are literally only as good as the player that plays them. Because you could find really good creative things to do with things like shape water. Make
Especially
ice
like
random
player
shit.
against player stuff.
Yeah.
You want to
I
climb
will
this
agree with that.
rocky cliff, Minor Illusion some footholds, and now you can laugh with your friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are a lot of
And-
things you can do that you would never even think of. I remember I used shape water to traverse water. I would basically just form ice under my footsteps
Why not just reverse the flow of water and just have it push your feet up on the water surface?
because shape water doesn't. Yeah, it'd be control water. Shape water is just small amounts of water.
Yeah, it needs to be a flowing stream for that to happen, right?
But you can.
Alright.
But the trick is you could turn it to ice.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're not a very creative player, and like no shade, I mean, there are a lot of people that just like to play and just play as things are written.
It's
But
just
like, if you're
maybe-
not a very creative player, you're just gonna be like, oh, I'll use prestidigitation to light a fire every once in a while when I want to have a cigarette in the game. It's like, yeah, okay,
and
that's fine, I guess, but it's not worth it.
I do need to say the rock gnome is what's holding the gnome back for me, because Artificer's Lore and Tinkerer are both very fun
Yeah,
abilities.
I
But
gotta
when
give
was the
you
last time you
some-
used one?
Rock Gnome
Is
A rock
Is-
gnome is just a
this
wannabe
was
dwarf,
bad.
I'd say.
this was the kind of gnome that Meepian was playing as for Elmasiva in the game that I met him in, where I ran out of the abyss.
Mhm.
Meepian, I never saw you use Tinkerer once throughout the entire game.
I don't think I did. No.
Yeah, because when in that situation, fighting the drow, was the clockwork toy, the fire starter, or the music bot going to come in handy?
Yeah. I may have been the other kind of gnome that it has like
Oh.
speak with small animals. And
Oh
stuff like
no,
that.
you
Forest
didn't.
Gnome.
No, you're rock gnome. I have your sheet still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember you used Artificer's Lore a lot. Like when we got Grast's sword and Yunogu's flail, you used Artificer's Lore in both of those, and
Okay.
yeah, and that just gave you lore on it. But the rock gnome really has nothing going for it.
You're
I'm
right
sorry,
there.
and
It's
yeah,
the
it's
other
got
the other two make up for that. I think.
and the gnome has some good abilities, but compare that to just how front loaded the dwarf and the elf are in comparison.
The dwarf is very, very OP. I think actually, I think they
Yeah.
gave a little too much to the dwarf.
Yeah, the dwarf has got a lot of tools. The elf has got even more tools. So I gotta say the gnome, the best I can do for you is C. The best I can do is C.
Oh, okay.
Just
Ouch.
I'd say B above
just-
dwarf. My opinion.
yeah, it's all based on player application at the end of the day. We're just like the average newbie is gonna have no idea how to gnome. But
If we
Put
wanted
it-
to put a C, where would we put it?
put it ahead of the centaur.
Ahead of the centaur.
Put it ahead of centaur.
I can deal with that.
I can
Yeah.
agree with that at least, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I think you should put the dwarf down to C though, like because I just don't think it could be.
But there's nothing holding the dwarf back.
He's right there. There is
Yeah.
nothing.
There's no detriment to the dwarf.
I mean, stone cunning's probably the only thing holding it back.
Yeah, but then again, that's such a non-issue with stone cutting because all the other abilities are just that good.
Yeah.
Well, it also depends a lot on the GM of what they'll let you get away with using it for.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because in other editions, their gnomes were not as good. I will say so, especially in 3.5.
The gnomes have always been the bottom card of the low fantasy races.
They've been the race that you kick.
And gee,
I've been
who else
playing
was
a
next?
lot more gnomes lately. Like recently, I played a deep gnome.
This Sverfneblin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the big schnoz. Let's talk about this. This is one of my favorites for NPCs, not so much as a
Goblin.
player character. Goblin.
I like
S-
kobold more than goblin.
S tier.
Yeah, the goblin. Well, first of all, you get like a free like 1 level dip into rogue with what was it? What's that ability
It's
called?
Fury of the Small
Look,
is so
Fury of Small gives you
low.
extra damage.
No, man. It's the goblin waifus. They're too overpowered.
See, I hate 6-step goblins. I don't like that. See, Nimble Escape, that's what it's called. Yeah.
As a bonus, yeah. But at that point, just play rogue.
Along with Dark Vision and, well, first of all, Monster Race. It's going to be hard for you to go along with NPCs.
Yeah.
Along with just, it only has Dark Vision, Fury of the Small, and Nimble Escape. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
Fury of the Small has such a small amount of damage.
Yeah, that's minuscule.
Yeah, it's not that great.
By level
rest
20,
get that back.
It's just god awful.
That's minuscule. That's
If
so
you
minuscule.
played a level 20.
Yeah.
I'd say, is it better than
have
Ganassi? That's the thing.
No, it's
You're
not.
saying,
So
Chad?
I would actually say the
Yeah,
goblin's
yeah.
abilities, like what the race gets, is probably like C tier, but its flavor is A tier. So I'd put him a solid B.
I was going to drop this in D.
D, really?
Well,
I feel like goblins
yeah.
are really unusually fun to play. Like, all right, so what are we rating on? Are we rating just on what the class what the race has?
Apparently, we're doing it on just camp mechanics alone.
Yeah.
So.
Mechanics.
Oh, we're just doing mechanics alone? Then all right.
Yeah,
D,
I know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Mechanics alone, then yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because even with the Mordenkainen boost,
definitely fun.
Even with the boost you got in Mordenkainen's menagerie, once that Fury of the Small is gone, it's gone. You're not getting that back until you do a rest. And Nimble Escape, well, thank you for using that my bonus action that I could have used for, I don't know, Healing Word, Second Wind, Action Surge, Raging, Smiting, anything else.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of stuff that's contesting the bonus action. I don't need another option. I need something practical that I can just use at any time.
The only boost that Mordenkainen's whatever gives is Fey Ancestry, and that's it.
Yeah, and even then your
I gotta
monster
restart.
parry.
I gotta bounce for a minute. I'll be right back.
I got it. Yeah, drop it in D. Just get out of here. It's not as good as people say it is.
Will it still play one? Yes.
Yeah, if we were talking about the Verdan, on the other hand, that would be an A tier.
Yeah, Verdan's actually
the Verdan isn't on this page, but the Verdan is just the Goblin, but better in every way. That's all I'm gonna say about the Verdan.
Verdan was done by the with that Penny Arcade.
Yeah, exactly. PAX.
That's what I thought. It was what was that book? Acquisitions and Quiz.
Yeah, that book is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, they know what they're doing. The Penny Arcade guys, not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're very, very smart gamers.
Oh, 100%.
Goliath. Ooh,
I
Goliath.
love the Goliath.
A tier. A tier. We don't even need to explain it. A tier.
It is good. It's like the Goliaths are good.
The powerful build, knowing giant stone resistance, just all these are just really good abilities for the Goliath.
It is kind of one trick pony though, because it's all just melee stuff.
Yeah. It's all melee, but I have seen Artificer and Wizard Goliaths, and they make the build work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Along with that, resistance to cold damage too, and the athletics proficiency.
Yeah, but the resistance to cold is so. There's not a lot of things that do cold damage.
Well,
I mean, there's some spells, but
you say that, but
uses them.
But wait until you get hit by Cone of Cold, and then you see how nice that cold resistance is.
Yeah, but in all the games that I've played, I've never been hit by a Cone of Cold or any ice-based spell.
You've been very fortunate to never go up against an Ice Wizard.
Or your mother.
As we know, she's very cold-hearted. It's that bit from Chutter. I called in the coldest person I know, and it goes over to Endive. No, the second coldest person I know. Let's go ahead. Let's put this in.
Your mama's so cold when you squeeze her titties, she makes ice cream.
Maybe you got any opinion on the Goliath?
Not really. I don't have much to do with them playing or as a player.
There's nothing the Goliath has that I say is bad. There's
nothing bad about the Goliath.
I would put it above.
You think it's B?
Yeah, personally, I played over a dwarf, but this isn't
Put
just my
over
opinion
Fearbold.
list. Put him above for Bold?
Yeah, because Stone's endurance has come in clutch so many times in so many games I've seen.
Yeah, I can see that. It's especially useful for like sorcerers and wizards being low health.
That ability has saved parties from TPKs I've seen. Just that really does carry the entire Goliath race.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we got? Half elf. This is the most normie of all the normie options. Even more so than human.
Slightly better than human, I think.
Yeah, it's just good. It's just good. Put in B tier below the dwarf. I mean, do you really need to go into detail with half elf?
Yeah.
Look
at this. You can have different types of half elf. Drow,
you can
wood.
Yeah, the fact that there's different types, and the fact that you can take like half elf, based feats is kind of good.
Yeah, you've got the half elf, but with the change to ability scores, where you can now just take the bonuses and put them in anywhere. By this point,
I hate that. But nobody does that, and that's stupid.
Playing a full elf anymore.
Yeah, the thing about these half aquatic drow, you forego something to take it. So you forego the skill versatility to take this ability.
And then it's one feature from an elf subclass. Like take the high elf, for example. When you look at the high elf, you get the weapon training. You get the weapon training. You don't get the cantrip.
Yeah, but you can be a very good. You can make some good builds with a half elf though too. Like there's nothing bad about the half elf.
There's nothing bad about, but there's definitely better options out there. Just put beneath the dwarf.
I would have to agree. What do you think, Meat?
I'd say above the dwarf.
No, what the fuck? Below the dwarf.
As much as I love dwarves, I have to give it to half elves, man.
Below the dwarf. Well, what does the half elf have that's above the dwarf?
Versatility and variety.
Same thing with the dwarf.
And options.
Yeah, thanks to the Tasha's rules, you can now take you can now take your stats and just reallocate them with the dwarf.
Yeah, but if you
I don't count those stupid stat changes. If you
skill versatility doesn't have anything to do with the stat changes. It has to do with your skills.
Along with that, there's no add proficiency, there's no resilience, there's no tool proficiencies along with it.
D&D Beyond,
exactly.
No, never mind. They count tools proficiencies as musical proficiencies as well. But this is skills. You choose 2 skills that you gain proficiency in, and then if you want to do, say, a drow half, you have to forego your skill for versatility to get dancing lights, fairy spells.
Okay, if you're going by Mordecai's rules, I'd say below. Then yes, I would say below a dwarf. But if you're going to go like the old school, the first made half elves, and I would say above dwarf.
Because before that Tasha rule came in, I would have agreed with you. But now that Tasha's culture of everything exists, I gotta put beneath dwarf.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. Half orc. Half orc.
I don't think Meep was able to say anything.
Say something, Meep.
I actually stand for dwarves, so I see them as being higher than half elves. Mostly because half elves are just very mediocre and not very interesting to me.
It's just very, very milquetoast. It's just a very safe option. Where
Until you get to Eberron.
see, and you got half orc. I have
Uh,
never met a single half orc player in my life that I have liked.
I
I
half orcs.
I love
This-
half orcs. I would say S.
But let me say, in my experience with the half orc players, this has always been the problem player at every table I've ever been at. People that play half orc. I don't know why it is with this race and the players that play it, but I have never gotten along with anybody who's played half orc.
That's
More
not
so,
true.
more so
Yeah.
than the tiefling, really?
The tiefling, well, if you're playing a tiefling, you're just gay. That's the only thing with tiefling players. But half orcs, for whatever reason, are just like main character syndrome sociopaths at the end of the day, where it's a player that just insists that they're the best at the game because they're playing the half orc. Where it's just like this weird entitlement to playing as the half orc I've seen in D&D.
Well, I mean, they're
don't
kind of
know.
straightforward.
I haven't seen
They're all about
that.
battle and trying to be straightforward. That's the thing.
Now that said, the half orc is good because
It's fucking great.
dark vision, menacing, but relentless endurance and savage attacks. Those
And
are great.
That crit is, oh my god, like the
When
first,
that crit hits, when that crit hits,
like so the first game.
What are you doing?
So like the first the first
That's what
5th
I
edition
honestly
character that I
believe.
made.
Yeah.
The first 5th edition character I made was a half orc. I made him a half orc ranger just because of that crit. And I was waiting for the day I would get that double crit when I was using 2 weapons. And oh my
If
god,
you play
it
as
was
a
glorious.
champion fighter, with this.
I played as a fighter battle master.
So I was playing level 3 half orc ranger, hunter's mark, beast hunter, or like monster beast hunter. I was rolling a total of 8
A total of what?
8 d8s and 1 d6 for my crits. That's for a double crit.
This is the most the class that I have played the most.
If you were using a half orc, then yes, there is some good stuff to it. So I'm gonna say with those 2 abilities alone. Do I want to put it above the elf? I don't know.
I
don't know.
I would.
Ooh,
Yeah.
But yeah, with the half orc, it comes down to luck. With the half orc, you gotta have good rolls. You just have to roll well for that night. Well, with the elf, your abilities are always active with the elf.
Yeah, I would say
Your-
below elf. Yeah,
your
as much
abilities
as
are
I
always
prefer, as much as I love half orcs, I'm gonna have to say below, just below
Yeah,
elf.
but when the stars align, the half orc is the best player character at the table, but the elf is more consistent. All right, hello again, Sean. We've put the half orc in A tier.
What do you think of me?
Fair.
Am I alone?
No, I think half orcs are probably A tier. And just to detoxify them, I've played a half orc. It was a half orc paladin with noble parents.
Oh my god! Oh.
And the half orc in my Tuesday night game was a very good player. There's still that Tuesday group has progressed past that character, and he's playing a very interesting rogue.
To make sure that you all stay as good people, I'm banning this race next time I run D&D.
Oof.
Race.
Dude, like, pretty sure I'm not talking.
Oh, what? Half orc?
Yes.
Half orcs are great.
I'm the only one who thinks it should be S tier.
Johnny has had some bad experiences with half orcs that I feel like is
I have
coloring.
told
his
Sean the stories I've had with player characters.
I was there to witness some of his stories with half orcs.
You were with one of them. No, there's like 3
Yes.
players I can name. Where, in particular, but on top of that, just like I've noticed, like with like D&D horror stories, it's fucking half orc players I keep seeing the names of. Going down the line, halfling. This this has got a soft spot for me. I love Lord of the Rings. I love Frodo Baggins. I love Samwise Gamgee.
I know, but
Mary
mechanically,
Pippin.
I'm sorry. They're D. I mean,
Yeah,
they're not.
there's better options
And
out
to
there.
be fair, though, that's also
Yeah.
the class fantasy. They're not supposed to be like OP.
It's that Lucky by itself carries the halfling. That's
It
just
does,
really
yeah.
good to have.
It's the
If
only
you're
thing.
playing a
It's the
wild
only
magic
good thing it
sorcerer,
has. Exactly.
the wild magic sorcerer, the shit hits the fan if you roll 1
I
with the
don't
wild
know.
magic sorcerer.
I
But
think it's above dwarf because of brave.
it
alone.
is. Along with that,
I would
Brave
say it's
Advantage
D
against
right.
saving throws against being frightened. You know how
I'd
many
Yeah,
say
things
then-
D
frightened in this game?
right above Goblin. I'm sorry.
I could not disagree with you more on that.
Like
could not
luck
disagree with you more.
is not. Luck is just. It's
Wait until you roll a 1 in combat,
It's
and you will wish you had Lucky again.
yeah.
The
If you
only
ever think
downside of the halfling is
All you
the slow
all you have to
speed.
do, but all
It's
everybody else has to do is just take the luck feat, and you're
Even
basically just playing
That's
a
3
halfling
times a
character.
day. The
Even
Lucky
Stout
feat's always
Fight.
active.
Stout Halfling gives you advantage against saving throws and poison, so it's
Yes,
takes
that's
that
what I was going
halfling
to
and
get
you're
to.
pretty much a dwarf.
Yes. Take this, and
Oh,
then follow this
There's
up with the
no bad.
I would not put
someplace.
it above gnome. Okay,
the no. It's no. I gotta say this is
I gotta say
this
it's higher
is
than
this is
that.
about the dwarf. And on top of that, the Lotus Den that got added in Wildermount, where Druidcraft entangles and spike growth. Oh my god, I love spike growth. That's one of my favorite spells.
Spike growth is a great spell.
That shuts down combat encounters. That spell is
yeah.
just so strong for second level.
you guys are being
And-
biased.
Hey, if I can put half orc in A tier, the halfling in B tier is fine.
Yeah, halfling and B tier. It's better than the dwarf. It's just good stuff. There's no downside to playing a halfling besides that movement
halfling-
speed penalty.
Is better than everything that we put below it.
Exactly.
I mean, half elf could be down further in my personal opinion, but
and once again, you can have a very strong forest gnome, but the rock gnome just holds back the gnome into placing.
Who cares?
I care. Why are you in this video then?
It's just a
it's the mechanics.
like
the mechanics has. If we're gonna compare the mechanics between halfling and gnome, the halfling doesn't have any bad sub races. The
Yeah,
gnome
on top of
has
it's got
one.
more features too.
More options for sub races. You got Ghostwise, Lightfoot, Stout.
The
Cloud's
ghost
two
wise.
different.
Oh yeah, the ghost wise. Telepathy as an ability.
Yeah.
And
And it's not even something you have to cast. It's something that you just do.
you just
Yeah,
you just have message with you all the time, and you don't actually have to point with message.
gnome has so much more options. I know it's just like
no, it doesn't.
I know it's just the forest gnome. I know it's just like I know it's not the rock gnome, but I mean like nobody plays the rock gnome. Let's be honest here.
Nobody plays the rock
And,
gnome, and just
that's why it's where it's at.
that's where it's at. Yes, that's where it's at because it's got a bad feature to it. That's why it's in C tier. See, Ryan, can you hop my gob?
Oh,
Can you-
okay.
Can you hop my goblin?
I'm all set on that.
Okay. Let's see, we got dark vision, we got martial training, and we got saving face. This is D tier.
Well, going back, what do you think?
Yeah.
About
The halfling.
Halflings are the only downside of the halfling is their slow movement speed.
Yeah, that's it.
the
Oh
rest is-
shit!
rest
Yeah,
is
I
all-
forgot about that.
Yeah, that's
They
25,
also
that's-
don't have dark vision.
see. Now that
I
fucking-
consider dark vision a bonus rather than the lack of it a penalty.
given that you can just recreate that as a spell.
But to be fair,
Yeah, but
you
it's a
can just
waste of
recreate
spell.
it as a spell. But at the same time, it says something that every single class has to have freaking dark vision
Oh,
because
Sorry.
that's poor design.
I gotta
Yeah.
say, Brave makes up for the lack of
Yeah.
no dark vision. Brave alone.
Because we're saying if we're that dependent on dark vision, then is it the module's fault or is it the race's fault? Because Out of the Abyss, yes, you really could use dark vision, but if every damn dungeon requires it, that just gets obnoxious at some point where I don't want to take light as a cantrip. I don't want to.
Just carry torches.
Yeah.
You get torches when you first start off in a game. You get 10 of them.
Exactly. I'll light a cigarette and use that to light my way.
But
like I
said,
if it was a 3.5 halfling, I would say S tier. But I mean, it's
Brave alone puts it above. Honestly,
Brave
Brave alone puts it above most races.
Not a lot of creatures have abilities that make you frightened. Like
a lot of creatures do.
A lot of creatures do.
Dragons' abilities don't to frighten you, don't affect you.
You're not fighting a dragon until late game.
Exactly.
You're fighting undead that's got shit like that.
Yeah, it's not just undead.
Along with any spellcaster that's got cause fear or just fear as a spell. Or, can you hop my gob? Can you hob my goblin? Much? Can you hob my goblin into D tier beneath the actual goblin?
Yeah, how much you paying me?
Is all. Oh my gosh! I demand to be free. I ain't charging you anything. See, right, so yeah, because I know it got a rework in the Mordenkainen's Monsters of Multiverse, but the Volos guide was just so terrible. Where Dog, I have never seen a hobgoblin player in 3 years of playing D&D. I've never seen a hobgoblin in the wild.
Wasn't the most recent iteration of the hobgoblin supposed to be like broken?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be like the saving grace of it, but Volos has just left such a bad taste in my mouth. It's in D for me.
Yeah.
Where
you've got dark. Look at it.
Exactly.
I can't remember what the feature was that everyone was saying was broken about the new
advantage on saving throws against being charmed.
What about saving face?
Is that it? Really? I feel like that's not enough.
And then you get the Fey gift, which is like hospitality, passage, and spite, where it's like sub races, kind of sorta. And then fortune of the Manny, where if you miss an attack with a roll, you get a bonus to the roll for every ally within 30 feet of you, which is just the same thing as saving face. And you can use it as many times equal to your proficiency bonus, where that's not really broken in my opinion with the Fey gifts. Where, given that they are all bonus actions too, I mean the Mordenkainen's one, I think it got overhyped. It's C tier to me at best.
I mean, is it better than a goblin?
It's not. It's not. I can use the goblin's features more than I can use the hobgoblin's features.
Then D tier.
Yeah. Just put it beneath the goblin. I've never seen a player use hobgoblin. I see no incentive for a player to use a hobgoblin.
That's fair.
Unless Meeping's got a secret story for us about the hobgoblin.
Nope.
I don't.
Nope.
Can you think of anyone who really wants to play a hobgoblin? I feel like
no.
No. Why do they even make this playable?
I mean, I could probably think of one, but that would be it. But
they made it that one time because they had a goblin and bugbear in there.
Exactly.
So why not hobgoblin?
No. If they had the ability, that ability as an NPC, where beneath the goblin. Yeah.
Sorry.
If they had the ability where they dealt an extra 2d6 damage for every ally within 5 feet. That would be fun. That'd be fun. Human. Probably not that. Just put in an E.
Nah, just put it is S tier. Let's be honest here. Like having an extra feat having an extra feat at first level is fucking broken. So that's why it's
that's variant human though. I mean, are we talking about regular or variant?
We're talking about all the sub races. Well,
I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're gonna put in rock gnome and count that, then you have to put in the variant for human as well.
Yeah,
so it's
variant human.
I've been doing the variants for all of them.
Yeah, it's with the whole thing. The normal human just kind of sucks, and variant is super good.
I
know. In the middle, put him at bottom of B.
I'd say A at least, dude. Hey, variant human's that good.
Put him at.
I put it S. Not
like
fun.
95% of players play as a variant human because it's that good.
Yeah.
Put him at S tier. Not fun.
Tell me more stuff.
I'd give you the A tier because normal human does suck that bad, but
It's-
I can't see it
Yeah,
going below A.
put him in A beneath the GIF. Just
Yeah.
beneath the GIF. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't physically put it in S tier
Okay.
because
yeah.
of just it human alone, not
Yeah,
the
just
variant version.
human.
Just
Can we just
human
add another?
alone.
Can we just add another category? Just human.
It's just human. It
Just
it's
like put it below
humies.
F.
Yeah, because it would literally be like D and S, because that's the way that would work.
See, just the gray area of human,
Exactly.
where make it gray because it's a gray area.
Yeah.
I wish they went the other way and just decided to do like regional human races rather than
That
just
would be a
variant
smart
human
idea.
and
Yeah.
It would have been so much cooler.
But given how
like
liberal
desert,
D&D is,
desert human,
no
Arctic
fucking
human.
how
And then
fucking liberal D&D
just
is.
move that
to have it-
category right in the middle. I'd say, yeah, though.
Yeah, probably like put it like between A and B.
Yeah, A and B.
Yeah. Yeah, it's given how funky the human can be. Here, Kalistar. I have seen only one player in my life use Kalistar,
I
and
actually have a-
Stars
have a
are
character
weird.
and I actually like them, and they have some good
Because the
abilities
more-
too. I feel like people just don't know about them.
it is where if more people knew that the Kalistar existed, and they actually, if there was a D&D game based in Eberron, well, first of all, shut up and take my money. I would love that, but the Kalistar.
I can imagine
that
I can imagine them being kind of broken because I mean they have two minds, and that means that you can concentrate on two concentration spells at once.
we even play World of the Apocalypse. It's pretty much a human with a Gaian spirit inside of him. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Where-
I mean, I will say having just telepathy just unlocked at like the start of the game is pretty broken.
Oh yeah. Well, dual mind also works. Mental discipline, or just resistance to psychic damage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely play this barbarian.
Vicious Mockery has
Exactly.
nothing on them, so yeah, that
I had a
might be
character
a,
that I actually planned on playing until I kind of got disenchanted with 5e that I really wanted to play as a Kalistar.
Yeah.
mechanically I'd say A or S.
Yeah, I would say A tier beneath the Githyanki.
I'd
Yeah, like right there, because they don't have
You
any
remember-
skill proficiencies to
But
beat up with.
honestly, it's better than the Dragonborn's breath weapon.
That's true.
See.
The
It's
breath
like,
weapon
it's
is
like-
pretty mid.
What the mind link?
Yeah, just
Yeah, but
the psychic
the drag-
distance. The
you can
mid
increase
mind
it though.
link.
You have feats that let you actually make it more powerful.
Yeah.
'Cause, from a feat perspective, like depending on how you build your Dragonborn, it could be better.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
that's in a weird spot. Just if we could just like amalgamate the Dragonborn Gith and Kalistar all in the same spot.
Yeah, if Kalistar is a spellcaster, concentrating on two abilities is super powerful.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that concentrating on two abilities then part of what is that a part of? Is that the no, it can't
I
be
swear
the
it's a
one, 'cause
wizard
it's not a
or like a feat
legacy.
that does that.
I
See,
just kind of
mental discipline.
I just kind of assumed based on the lore because like if you have because it makes
Yeah.
sense
Mental
because
discipline only gives you resistance or advantage on all wisdom saving throws.
Which is
Okay.
good.
okay, I just kind of assumed like if you have two minds, you should be able to have two focuses of concentration. Because I mean, like in the in Ravnica book, that's exactly what Niv Mizzet has. So
It's just good that the Kalistar is good, but more
If-
people need to know it exists.
If that was an actual thing, the being able to concentrate on two different things at once, I would say
Yeah.
yes.
That,
you
that
remember-
would be incredible.
Do you remember what book it was introduced in? Because I feel like it was just an older book.
Eberron. Kalistar is
Yeah,
part of
Eberron was a
according to
while
Gideon.
ago too. So that
It's
and they
buried
never made any
somewhere in
updates
the-
to it. So
It-
They didn't even update it in the Tome of Foes because
Yeah.
it's not even
Yeah.
legacy.
I'm nostalgic for a time that I never got to experience in D&D, where Eberron came out and it was this new, fresh breath where it's a game that's set in the 1930s with fantasy elements, and
Yeah.
now every single book that's being released by Wizards of the Coast is just Eberron, but worse, because you're forced to get into Forgotten Realms, where it doesn't
Yeah.
belong and it never will belong. I will always love and hate Critical Role. You saved D&D and you ruined D&D at the same time.
That's fair.
Is now every D&D game has to be super goofy and be like the Knight's Tale. It feels like every movie that's on in a D&D theater, it's Knight's Tale. Well, I like Knight's Tale, but can I please get something else?
Well, it's
can I
also like
please?
I should have options if I want to take the game seriously. Like it's hard to
Is-
even like
is-
run a game where you take it seriously now because they gear the rules around being goofy with it.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
don't want to play D&D anymore. I want to play Warhammer Fantasy instead.
Well, they're trying to do a catch-all for everybody, so that's how they market it.
Yeah,
There
you
are
gotta
two-
appeal to normies.
There are 2 options in here that I don't see that should be in here. That's Lawcap and Grom.
You are right about that. But yeah, we can talk about other races towards the end. Let's see who else we got. Kenku.
Trying to find them
I was
right
just
now.
gonna say, did we do Kenku yet? Literally was gonna be the next words out of my mouth.
Kenku, it's all right.
Let's see, expert duplication and Kenku recall, and mimicry.
Yeah.
I mean,
You do
expert
like-
version
only-
is
You
pretty
could do a
good,
lot
too.
of funny shit with that.
Yeah.
If
The
you
original
want-
version of Kenku wasn't it? They could only say the word Kenku.
No, they can only
No.
use the.
Just-
I've got it up right here. You can mimic sounds
yeah.
you've heard, including voices. A creature that hears sounds you make can tell they are imitations with a successful insight.
the
I'm just
way
Right,
I've
but
wondering-
you couldn't
seen-
actually speak in a normal term. You just could
Yeah.
mimic what other people were saying. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And the way I've seen Kenku used is that you have the Kenku living tape recorder that goes around and records entire conversations and then
Pretty
plays
much.
the entire thing.
See, it's not just conversations though; it's any sound they hear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I have Kettle Steam and Wild Beyond the Witchlight, who is
Mimicry
this-
specifies including voices.
I think
So
it all.
exactly.
I mean, it all comes down to how good the player is.
Yeah,
Same with the illusionist.
it's another race where if you're a good player, if you're very creative, the Kenku can be very strong.
I'd say
That's fair.
put it in C tier, either above or below Gnome.
Yeah, above the gnome.
Yeah, I would say
Uh,
above gnome.
Yeah, the Kenku has no detriments to it, but once again, you need to be very clever if you want the Kenku to excel.
That's fair. I think.
And
I
on
think
top of
C's
that, you're
reasonable.
kind of pigeonholed into playing a rogue with the Kenku, given the Kenku's backstory and how they're kind of like a criminal race, so to speak.
Oh boy.
Or-
Maybe any thoughts?
Not really. I kind of agree with everything that's been said.
I did have a
Alright.
very fun character that I would like to play again. Kenku, it was Tombstone the Gravedigger, where he was a grave cleric who once again buried people for a living, and then one day realized that if he didn't join the adventure, there'd be nobody left to bury him.
I've got a
And-
death cleric Kenku in the works right now.
And there was a great memory I have where we had a variant human rune knight, where Tombstone would just ride on her back while she was giant, and just constantly use stuff like spirit guardians and cure wounds on this giant going into battle. It was like the heavy and medic duo in TF2 where just nothing could stop them. It was such a fun power fantasy moment. Got great memories with the Kenku. And then fucking died to a succubus.
Nice.
Kobold. S tier. S tier.
Favorite
tier
class
kobold.
ever. Favorite
S tier
race ever.
kobold. Oh yeah.
yeah, Kobold's pretty fucking awesome.
Pack
And
tactics
Pack Tactics is insane.
and grovel cower and beg.
I
then
fucking
in the
love
Morning
Power-
Kings version-
Gravel Tower Bag.
Morgan's
Yeah.
version seems pretty interesting, actually. Yeah.
And
I
where you've
love
you've got your
Martin's
co-
version.
you've got your Chronic Cry where it's now a bonus action to do the advantage, but once again you said every player. See,
Yeah, every
you
player.
just-
You and every player.
did you just sneak Goliath into S tier?
Did I? Where?
You're trying to dupe me, Ryan.
Where was Goliath again?
It was in B right ahead of Fearbog.
I think Goliath should be right next to Half Orc, actually.
You're trying to trick me.
Honestly, I didn't even notice myself doing that.
Or the kobold, as this is supposed to be like the butt monkey of D&D, and yet they come off as one of the strongest races in the game.
Right.
Dog, I played as a kobold rogue. Advantage for days. There was no round I wasn't getting sneak attack.
Well,
It
okay,
was-
so the one thing about Kobold is it kind of depends on your DM, because if they really want to fuck around with your sunlight sensitivity, it can be a problem.
Yeah, it's sunlight sensitivity where
I always
at the same
loved
time,
playing sunlight sensitivity though.
well, that's what was so good about the pack tactics, because if you were in the right position, it would negate the sunlight sensitivity, and then you were just rolling straight.
That is true.
So, like, here's the thing. Like, I thought, like, before I clicked on this, I thought kobolds were not as good, and I thought that they actually should be good because they're part dragon. And now that I see that they buffed them, like, yeah, like, they should be an S tier.
And then they have all these different miniature features with the Morning Cannon book. There was nothing bad about the kobold.
Although-
Everything in here is
I'm not sure if
strong.
they should be above Asimar, though. Should they?
See. Oh, but with advantage at the
pack
way
tactics,
advantage. enters
Yeah,
the
pack
game.
tactics is better than
Oh yeah, pack
anything the
tactics.
Asimar gives.
Pack tactics.
Yeah.
I
Even-
mean,
even if we were talking about the original release of the Asimar, the DMG variant, it's still stronger than that
Oh,
version
yeah.
of the Asimar.
yeah,
pack tactics is pretty good.
yeah, they have flight, but it's limited flight. Like they have a
Yeah.
couple of other like cool
And-
abilities,
and
but
the
nothing
sorcery.
compares to the fact that just have advantage.
No,
Yeah,
they don't.
exactly.
They don't all. Only the protector has flights. The other one just have wings that don't make them fly.
Yeah, it's just you just look like Sephiroth.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's true.
Let's see, lizard folk. Lizard folk.
That crafting ability is what makes it fun.
Yeah, and then
But-
they removed it.
Did they? Oh, for fuck's sakes, dude!
They got rid of it in the Morning Cannons book. So now this race sucks, but it used to be great.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Well, we said in the beginning we weren't basing it off. We were basing it
Yeah,
off the
more-
old books, not the actual.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
because
well,
I mean, Kobold
apparently
they got rid
not.
of pack tactics for
apparently
we-
not.
For
So
no
We're
fucking
comparing
reason.
it, but we're our general idea is based off what the old books were
Morning
saying.
Kittens. Yeah.
Yeah, because you
if we, were
had
if we were basing it off the old books, then half elf would be much higher. So
yeah, but now we're living in
Alright.
2024 with the way that D&D fucking works now.
yeah. So
Um,
since we're going by the new books now, apparently for judging this, it's going to be at E tier or F tier.
Yeah, because
It's half.
we
half-elves?
lost some shit with the lizard folk because you still got the
half-elves
bite,
hasn't
you still got the
changed.
breath, you still got the hungry jaws, you still have natural armor, and you still have the natural intuition. But losing the crafting, dog, just the economy build with that. There are certain spells like abilities in this game where you could just make money by doing them. You could do that with the lizard folk. You could just generate revenue with that ability if you're
But
playing
now-
a game like that. That's
But
what I did
now
with,
it's-
with the Alchemist Artificer. And it's gone and it's replaced with nothing. And I don't get it. I don't get why you did this. It's good. It's just good. There's no detriment to it. Like natural armor pays off. So I'd put this in B. I'd put this in B.
See,
above-
the thing about cunning artistry, it depends on the DM you get. I've had
Yeah.
plenty of DMs tell me that bones are brittle and the weapons and armor that you would make won't last long.
You also had DMs who knew nothing about Native American culture or any tribal culture and had no idea what the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah, bone weapons are common, but to be fair, they would be more. They're not brittle. They usually treat them before that they're used.
you
but
use as a
They
javelin.
would be less. They would be less durable than, like, say, like a metal weapon. That is
Yeah.
fair.
I would
mean,
put this in D. Put this right above
I-
Goblin.
Yeah, I'm not fighting a helmed horror with a bone javelin. I would say it's B above the half elf because it's a lot of combat based abilities. It's got good stuff, but it's not as strong as it used to be. It got nerfed. It got
I would say
It-
mid C.
Natural
mid
armor is
C.
natural armor is only good at low. at low level. Once you get to higher level, it doesn't matter.
The
yeah,
natural
yeah,
armor
you do
and then
have
the
it, the-
healing, the temporary hit points is good.
Yeah.
What for like 1, 2, or 3 hit points? It's
That's a
Yeah.
D6 plus your strength.
Yep, yeah, put above the Aarakocra.
where's the
Put,
D6? Where does it say D6?
And,
Your bite.
see, yeah, there he is. You
You
see
make
him.
it
In
save
battle,
roll
you
that-
can throw yourself in a feeding frenzy. As a bonus action, you can make a special attack with your bite. Your bite
It
deals
deals-
1d6 plus your strength.
I'm reading this and it says it deals normal damage and you gain temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. You can use this trading number of times equal to your proficiency bonus.
What book are you
There's no
reading?
I'm looking at online.
Post URL.
This is coming from D&D Beyond.
Yes.
It's coming from the wiki.
Okay, you're reading a different version.
Like from there.
So, yeah, I'd put this in. I'd put this in
I
C4.
have Volos, the actual book for Volos. I can find that real quick.
I think he's reading the old version for Volos.
Oh, okay.
No,
so
I'm reading the old version from Volos.
Yeah, and since we're going with the new version, that means it sucks.
Right.
So
Well, not
No,
going with the new version.
yeah,
We're going
that's
with the
nerf.
old version.
Yeah,
that's not fair because if you're going with the old version for lizard folk, but
No,
you're
we're going old version for all of them.
yes.
Well, not for half elf apparently.
Yeah.
Half-Elf wasn't
along with taking the updates into account.
We're not doing this one.
Let's see. All right. Let's
This
go
makes
back to the
sense.
tier list.
Oh my god.
Let's go back to the
Mordecai
tier list before we
present.
confuse each other. All right. So just head on. Ryan, what tab is it in? All right, there we are. Yeah, so I'd sandwich it between Centaur and Aarakocra. Say, it's got some good stuff for early level, but it's gonna fall off eventually. So you're saying below Aarakocra? Where?
No, I was saying mid. I would say it's above Aarakocra.
Yeah, it's painfully mid.
Mainly for the healing.
Yeah, because it used to be very good. Now it's not. Loxodon. I really like the Loxodon. I've never seen anybody play the Loxodon. It's a damn shame. I love elephant people.
It's another one that I think just people don't know that exists.
I don't think anyone actually bought the Ravnica book.
I did.
Nobody
Fair.
fucking bought this.
I did on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, which is why you have all these notes. So Loxodon, first of all, being 400 pounds, I can see that coming useful. If, I don't know, you're fighting a flying enemy that's trying to pick you up and fly away with you.
Sit on him. You know.
Yeah, you could just crush a man to death with a Loxodon.
Who needs coup de grace? Just fucking sit on him.
See, powerful build, Loxodon Serenity. You have advantage against Charm and Frightened, along with a natural armor based off of only your Constitution mod, and then the trunk. You have a third arm that can just hold stuff, and then the keen smell, which is advantage on perception, survival, and investigation checks. So it's just general good abilities, but nothing that is going to have me put it above the gnome. I'm going to say this is behind the gnome.
Is there anything bad about it?
Advantage against Charmed and Frightened is pretty good.
That is good, yeah.
That's good, but at the same time, we got no innate spellcasting, no proficiencies, and no damage resistance. I mean, this is a pachyderm. Shouldn't we be resistant to, I don't know, slashing damage?
I mean, it's got natural armor.
Yeah, that would make that would make sense. But the natural armor that falls off at later levels, so it's good for early play. But the longer you play a Loxodon, the more it begins to fall off.
I'd say put it in B above a halfling.
See, I don't know because we got the Kinku in C, and I'd play a Kinku before I'd play a Loxodon. Even though
you could use, I've been told that you can use its trunk as a something to attack with, like have an actual weapon.
I was thinking more along the lines of just holding your magic wand with it.
Flavor wise, I think the Loxodon make a better foreblog, whatever the fuck that warforce thing is.
Furbolg.
The idea of being a gentle giant, an elephant makes more sense. I'm sorry.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meepy, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I've never seen anybody play Alexidon either.
I do have a Loxodon character in mind.
We'll use them at some point.
His name is Agri in Culture.
See,
He's a
so
farmer.
I don't know. I don't think this is B. I don't think this is B. It's not D. It's not D. It's definitely not D.
Yes, I'm happy with C.
Yeah, that looks okay.
Because I would definitely play a Gnome over a Loxodon.
Yeah,
The only reason I have this Loxodon character is because I wanted to try it out.
yeah, because it's good for early game, but I don't see myself relying on this in the late game.
And I've played
Right.
more Gnomes than I have Loxodon.
Okay, Minotaur, another sociopath player race. Once again, I've never met a Minotaur player that I've gotten along with.
That's not true. You've got one right here.
You see, when did you play a Minotaur?
I've played many Minotaurs.
Not in a game I ran.
No. In other games, I've played a Minotaur Barbarian, I've played a Minotaur Rogue, I've played a Minotaur Fighter.
The Minotaur
Oh,
also
you're gonna
wins.
play a Minotaur in one of our campaigns, and that's the one that you get kicked out of the group in.
Right.
We've got the Minotaur also wins the award for worst picture in all of D&D.
You're right there.
That terrible picture in Morrigan's Monsters of the Multiverse. Oh my god, what did you do?
I'm not sure about this edition, but like in older editions, if you played a Minotaur, and if you were if you came across any minions of Baphomet, you were fucked because Baphomet basically created the Minotaurs, and
He's got you dead to rights.
Yeah, pretty much. He can control your mind easily.
And if you want to play as a barbarian or a fighter, then behold, bombs away. The Minotaur is the one you're looking for. You got horns, you got horns, and you got more horns, and you got proficiency in intimidation or persuasion.
As much as I love the Minotaur, I hardly ever use the horns or the goring rush or the hammering horns.
You're only playing as this if you're charging, and once again, Mornikins didn't really do much to improve the Minotaur. This is D. This is below the Hobgoblin. It's got.
By the way, I feel like what you said can be applied to every single race with natural weapons. Like
Exactly.
No one ever uses the natural weapons.
When was the last time you
like
used
on the rare
claws
occasion
on
you're like caught and your weapons have been stolen? Like
Exactly.
when are you using natural weapons?
The only time I've seen the horns be used was at the beginning of Out of the Abyss. That was the only time I ever saw them get used.
Yeah, because they have no weapons.
Maybe like level 1. Sure.
That's the thing about what makes natural weapons great is that if you're ever in a jam and you have no weapons, or if you ever get captured. That's
that's it. Like if you're like in jail and they took your weapons. That's
or you're doing a meme build.
Or if you're in a brawl, or if you're in a tavern brawl, you know.
Yeah. This is D. This is D. Yeah.
I mean, I could even see this.
See, once again, it's another one of those classic Ryan puns. Oh my god!
I don't understand what the pun is.
It's you can see it being there.
Oh, that was unintentional. Great, thank you.
Exactly. We've gotten so used to doing this, you no longer notice you do it.
It just happens.
He's like a
he's
like a dad joke savant.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue.
See, orc C tier. It's the half orc but worse.
Yeah, why is the regular orc worse than a half orc? It makes no sense, but it fucking sucks.
Really makes no sense.
It fucking sucks.
When is aggressive? When are you going to use aggressive? When are you going to use what the fuck is this? Adrenaline rush? They added in the relentless endurance in the update and the more Morrigan's monsters, but yeah, this is C. I'm putting it beneath the Genasi.
I'd say D. Put it in D.
Yeah.
Put it in D beneath the Goblin.
Yeah, put it beneath the Goblin. Put it beneath the Hobgoblin.
Above the Hobgoblin because the Hobgoblin just sucks.
Okay, yeah.
Because at least you get multiple uses of Adrenaline Rush, but yeah, once Saving Face is gone, it's gone.
Yeah, it deserves D.
All right, Shifter. Okay, high A tier. High A tier with the Shifter.
You don't need to tell me that because I fucking love Shifter.
Yeah, you said something with the Barbarian about a build you could do with the Barbarian.
I was talking about the new Shifter, the Mordecai.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's an option with Legacy.
Yeah, because with this, what did you say this was? Something along the lines of, what was it? Was it?
No, it's still relevant. It's the Wild Hunt. So
Wild Hunt.
if you play Barbarian, Wild Hunt Shifter Barbarian, you reckless attack and shift. And while you were shifted, you have advantage on wisdom checks, which that's not really,
Shifter isn't even
Yeah.
in the wiki right now. So, oh, wait, I see it.
And
and no other creature within 30 feet of you can make an attack roll with advantage unless you are incapacitated.
Okay,
it's,
that's
just-
good.
You could just sit there and reckless attack all day, get advantage, and have no one get advantage back on it.
and Mark the Scent was a terrible feature. I'm glad this replaced it. And
Well, it's still in the legacy as well. It's still
Yeah. Because legacy features are fine. They're just fine. The shifting is the reason you're here. Where
even the Swiss Ride, which is what I played in the Theros campaign that we were.
Yeah, you played Gale.
The walking speed is increased by 10, and additionally, you can move up to 10 feet as a reaction when a creature ends its turn within 5 feet of you, which does not provoke opportunity attacks, and that's
That's just good.
huge.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So
Yeah, I'd say an A
so
tier somewhere in A
yeah,
tier.
I put in A between the Calstar and the GIF.
Longtooth gives you a bite, and the Beast Tide gives you a D6 temporary hit points and a +1 to your armor class.
Yeah,
So there's only one thing holding this race back, and it's Longtooth.
yeah, that's the Longtooth just kind of sucks, but everything else is good. So that's what I'm gonna say. That A tier between put under the Calstar.
I would say B tier because we did the same thing to the no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I would say
put
B.
above the Goliath. Because once again, if Kyle was here, he'd be fighting us on this. He'd be arguing for A tier.
And don't get me wrong. I know how good the shifter is. I've played the shifter. I'm playing another shifter.
And you've played the Simic Hybrid? Because that is
I've
Hybrid.
Never played
Simic
Simic Hybrid.
hybrids are so much fun to play.
crank that up to S tier.
I would imagine
up
that
to
would be
S.
S tier. I would imagine it being S tier, yeah.
I can see
magically
why.
lands in S tier. Magically lands beneath the Kobold. Yeah,
I was about to say.
because this is the only race I've seen where you can customize it as the levels progress, and it fits
That alone
any build
is
you want to make. Any build you want to make, the Simic Hybrid is good.
You can have
Where-
you can be a crab person in one hand and a bird person in the other hand.
You got the Manta Glide, where I had a Simic Hybrid Sorcerer in a game that was very short-lived, and it was so fun using Spider Climb, climbing up a wall, jumping off the wall, and then just carpet bombing with the Manta Glide.
Yeah,
The fact that you have this laundry list of mutations and you get to like a la carte pick what mutation you're getting is so much fun. And there's so many different combinations you can make to make them like interesting and unique every time you play it.
I wish it went above 5th level though.
There's only one thing that sucks, and that's Acid Spit. But besides that, just the customization behind it. But the sheer amount of freedom you can do with the Simic Hybrid.
Yeah,
It's
we
just
had a player in our Theros game that played some hybrid, right?
That was wasn't that Red who played?
that was
Theros?
Red. And there's just nothing
What
wrong
was his
with
name?
the
The
Simic
character's
Hybrid.
name? I can't remember now.
He took a character from League of Legends. He played Nashor.
Yeah,
Nashor,
what it
that's
was.
right. I could not remember the name.
He took a character from LOL. And it's just good. The Simic Hybrid is just good. Well, probably not the level of God tier that it was back in earlier D&D with Eberron. I see what you're doing with that, Tabaxi.
What?
Tabaxi sucks.
These are pretty
Looking
dope,
at it,
actually.
Tabaxi?
they suck.
You need to
All they
explain that
have
right
is
now.
all they have is speed. That's it.
That's exactly.
Speed's really good.
Exactly.
Only if you're using a fucking map. If you're using
gotta
theater of
run.
mind, only if you're using theater. If you're using theater of mind, speed is pointless.
There is no character where speed isn't like a plus.
Why
Like,
would you not
you
use
playing
this?
where like speed isn't good?
You get a climbing
fucking
speed of 20
feline
feet.
agility, along with like
Climbing speed,
perception, stealth,
ooh.
and the claws kind of fall off. But I'm
Yeah,
willing
claws
to
fall
accept-
off, but
20 feet,
You're,
guys.
yeah, you just said that
Pers-
you're like natural weapons are stupid. It
Yeah,
doesn't, it
there's-
doesn't have
Perception
anything
and
good.
stealth alone are like
You're
the
right.
two best abilities to get.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perception.
you're right. Natural claws suck, but the fact that you get a 20-foot climbing speed where you don't need to
Yeah.
make an athletics
Oh,
or
climbing
acrobatics check,
Ooh.
Yeah.
that's
It's
fucking
useless.
amazing.
But that's pointless when you get to higher levels.
Same. It's
Um,
your
It's
spell
pointless
slot
when
at
you
the
can
end of the day.
fly.
Yeah.
That's
Instead-
fair too.
Yeah, and we put the Aarakocra in C. So I to backseat because of just how much I love it.
I'm impressed you put the Croker in C. That's
because the flight's the only thing it has going for it.
it is the only thing it has,
Yeah.
and
And-
a lot of people
and
like
even
overvalue the
so,
flight, I guess.
You can't wear medium or heavy armor with that.
Yeah, that's fucking sad.
To fly.
You know what's bad when I don't know, like the winged tiefling doesn't have that restriction. And yeah,
I would
put the backseat the bomb on B.
I'll put it below Ganassi. That's where I'll put it.
Yeah, but
That's massive.
maybe what do you think? You're a swing vote.
Yeah, I'm not too impressed with it backseat, and the worst thing about it is you have to be a cat person.
I mean, I'm not judging its players. I'm just judging its abilities.
It's how the fucking furries invaded. Oh, fuck.
What?
All right, go into the line.
Oh,
Tiefling.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, take that,
This
take
is,
that Ramatum Tugger. Get out of here, Mr. Mistopheles.
Johnny's favorite
Tiefling.
race to play.
Tiefling. This is A tier. This is A tier. 100%. 100%.
tier.
Look
I
at
can
this.
make the argument.
Legacy,
I can make the argument for S
legacy,
tier.
legacy,
You
legacy.
see all that.
It's
I see.
all legacied.
It's all good.
Tiefling, I'll say is fine.
No,
I
but
don't
hold on
think
a
so.
minute. Hold on a minute. This is where language comes up in this video. When has it been a bad thing to know Infernal?
I mean,
When
if
has it
we were
been used-
talking about language, there's something in here that gave you a shit ton of language. It was Eric Okra.
Well,
Yeah.
the bad thing about Inferno is that
No,
if
Kinku.
you-
But
No,
That-
Eric Okra gave us 3 languages. Common, what else was it? Let me go back on that one.
well,
we'll look at the languages of that one. I'm pulling this up too. I'm looking at this with you. Common, Aarakocra, and Aran, where the 2 of those are elemental languages.
Yeah,
Well,
it still gave you a bunch.
But you're only ever going to use that in Elemental Evil campaigns. But with the Infernal, the amount of modules I've been in where stuff is written in Infernal text and nobody knows how to read it. But
That's
whenever you see Infernal pop up in this, it's either a devil contract or it's treasure. You need to know Infernal. Somebody in your party needs to know Infernal. when
problem
you
with
go into a
Infernal
game.
though is that it's very risky. If you say anything in Infernal, you could accidentally cast a spell and kill yourself from it.
Yeah, you don't need to say Infernal. You just need to be able to read it.
Yeah, he's got a point. I actually tend to, if I have an extra language slot to pick from, I usually go Celestial and Inferno for that reason, because there's usually something written in a campaign in Celestial and Inferno, and not everyone thinks to take it. It is a pretty good ability to have just built in.
Storm King's Thunder. Curse
That's
of
also a point,
Strahd.
by the way, for the Aasimar too, because I think Celestial's in the same vein. There's
cast-
always something
just-
in Celestial.
Just cast
Yeah, and if-
comprehend languages. It's easy.
If some random player
Yeah,
wants to
that's-
take Celestial or Infernal as a language, I'd be like, well, justify that. Why is your first level character associating with all these demons that you learn to speak Infernal?
Well,
I would
fair.
say
I mean, you should have a reason for it, but I'm just saying it's a good language to have
Right.
generally.
I would say
Oh.
put Tiefling right next to Dragonborn.
See, with yeah, that's a good spot to put it. Put it above Dragonborn, because first of all, the fire resistance is good. The dark vision's good. Where it's a shade of red instead, along with
Yep.
the sheer amount of customization with it too.
Is the fire
where
resistance better than the Gift's fire psychic, or was it Callister's psychic?
I'm going to get hit
resistance?
with Fireball before I'm going to get hit with Tasha's Mind Whip.
It's true. Yeah.
And the really good one on here, the fucking Devil's Tongue Tiefling. That's one that nobody talks about. That one's good. Vicious Mockery, Charm Person, and Enthrall. Yes, please, sign me up for that.
Yeah, but you lose
Yeah.
out. You lose out on not friends. What is it? Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy.
Rebuke, and darkness.
Where Hellish Rebuke and Darkness. But,
Well,
I
we all
like
know
my
I'm
spells
partial
when I'm
to
not
trickster
taking damage.
characters, and the Devil Tongue definitely is
better.
a wonderful trickster archetype.
Yeah. You can do so much with the Tiefling. It's just good to have it along with. I know we're not talking about flavor in terms of player characters, but I've never seen a boring Tiefling in game.
I mean, and there's no better a Warlock Tiefling is such a
But
it's like
all
classic combination.
every single tiefling that I've played with is always like
A warlock.
is always toxic.
Yeah.
They're always toxic.
Oh, you really?
Yep, they're
That's
always
your that's your
toxic, and they're
toxic
always
race.
always horny.
Yeah, every Tiefling I've played with has been gay. That
Really?
is the LGBT race.
Every
Gay-
tiefling I've played with has been
Gay or
shady.
bi, really?
Putting the T in LGBT with Tiefling. Okay, let's go to Tortle.
My third
Okay.
favorite race.
All
Oh
right.
my gosh.
I hate this race since it's too strong. Put in S tier, not fun.
I'm okay with that. Yeah,
You're
it's
not
pretty strong.
From a DM perspective, shell defense
That is
and the
true.
dodge action, and now you have a player character that you just can't fucking hit.
That's also way too much for a fucking racial feature, man.
Exactly,
That's not
and
something that should be built into the game.
That comes
Into
right
the,
at
is-
level 1.
race.
That is awesome, I say.
Dog, if you have a turtle that is using that shell defense, dodge action, and conjure animals, you already know I hate that spell. So now you have a player character that's got, taking 20 minutes to do their action, and then you just can't damage them.
I want you to
I
know
think
that
if you have a player that does that, you have a player that hates you personally.
You have got
He's
a
just trying to screw you.
like
I want you guys
sweaty
to know-
power gamer.
I'm the type of DM to use conjure animals to let my big bad evil guy escape.
Exactly. I hate that spell so damn much.
That's a good way to do it.
I hate that spell.
Oh
But,
no,
yeah.
you've almost killed me. Conjure
Yeah, but
animals.
but the turtle has got too much at level 1. Zit starts off too strong.
What do you mean?
And
Natural claws.
Conjure animals.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just conjure animals is one of those spells that just shows you how little the designers care about like how things they do affect the DM.
Spells to balance. Yeah, the DM just eats shit in D&D 5e.
Because there are ways that you could have designed conjure animals where it does not make the DM
Yeah,
go
you should
insane
try play-
every time it's cast.
But the
You should try
DM
seeing
can do
DMs
stuff
that
like counterspell.
Yeah.
They can, sure, but I mean, should you want to always shut down a player's spell because it's designed
Yes.
poorly? Like that's
Right.
not. That's not.
Try running a
This is
3.5
why I
game.
this is why I went World of Darkness and I never turned back, because if I'm making an NPC for World of Darkness, I just write the stat block, 5 minutes, there it is, NPC's ready to use. For D&D, I have to sit down and dedicate around 10 minutes at least to just design that one stat block.
That's
And
crazy.
See,
it's-
I just take stat blocks from D&D Beyond and be like, hey, this is what you're fighting.
Yeah,
Add some stuff, take some stuff away, change some things.
it's if I'm designing
Yeah,
a
but
boss
some of those D&D Beyond stat blocks are busted too.
Exactly.
Like imps.
Oh yeah.
Party of nothing but imps.
I
I'll be taking 76 poison damage
almost TPK'd 5 players with 4 imps.
with stamps. See.
The player to imp ratio is just so funny.
You want to talk about the Triton?
I know Dansky was trying to say something.
It's fine.
Uh,
Triton,
This is good, but you need to play a water campaign for the Triton to really shine.
yeah. Yep, don't play Desert Campaign.
So I'm going to put this in high B tier. Just the Triton when you're in the right
Situational.
when you're in the right environment for the Triton is strong and it stays strong for the entire game. But if you're
Take a look at
the
Triton.
longer you stay away from water, the more you begin to regret your decision of playing a Triton.
You know what? Now that you mention it, there really aren't many good water campaigns in general.
I mean,
Just
I can't
go
think.
summer.
There's water
stink.
deep, but like you're not using the water like that where a Triton's going to be more effective.
You
Yeah,
know what?
yeah. Unless
no,
you're
gust of wind,
above
more
Because
water
water,
good.
water fights are a pain in the ass because you're working in 3 dimensions, similar with
Exactly.
like air fights. So I'll put
mean-
it in maybe D tier.
The fact that you can talk to creatures that breathe water is pretty
But-
good.
Come on,
here's-
guys!
that is
We can use whales.
But the best,
Whales.
I do have very good memories with the Triton because my first ever player character I did long term was
Sorry.
Regis Locklad, and he was a Triton.
They can
And-
understand your words. They can't talk to you back though.
Yeah, you can talk to fish, but I was playing a samurai Triton fighter, and Fog Cloud. I learned just how useful that spell is.
Flood cloud's
When-
always useful.
When it
mean,
comes
if
to
you play
dropping it.
that's great.
It would be great
Along
for
with-
playing a pirate campaign, I would say, though. It'd be a
And
fun
then
character for
casting Wall of Water, and then swimming up my own water wall to solve a puzzle
That's pretty cool,
was-
actually.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I like that.
was that the spell casting alone saves it from being bad. I put it in B. No, not behind the Goliath. It's got resistance to cold. He's got that over the Goliath.
It's
The
just
Goliath has it
situation.
too.
Like,
Put it
if you hit
below
the
the Centaur.
situation, it's very good.
Just
Put
for
it below
situation
Centaur.
alone, if I could have the Goliath and Triton occupy the same space, I would. See, me
Where's
being
Centaur?
me being, what do you think? Should it be above or below the Goliath?
Oh, right here.
I don't know a lot about either race, so I don't really have a strong opinion either way.
Nah, we'll leave the Triton where it is.
No, you're right.
I'd say
Much as
put it between Centaur and Lizard Folk.
What?
That's what I'd say.
No.
That's what I'd
No,
say.
no, there's
Because
nothing-
just like
nothing-
Centaur, like the Triton is situational campaign. Because like
Well, there's nothing bad to playing as a Triton because half the game I played took place on land, and the Triton still came in clutch.
Honestly,
yeah, but if you're in the desert though, he's fucked.
Why would I take a race that has innate spellcasting and put him in C tier? It just B is where it belongs because I know we have the Genasi in C tier. I know, but the Genasi spellcasting just sucks. That's just a poor spell selection. Okay. You want to play as the race that literally nobody plays as?
the Vidalkin.
The Vidalkin.
Blue people.
Yeah, I have
Who
never heard of
has
anyone
seen
playing
a Vidalkin? What the
Never.
fuck, Ryan?
Yeah, they're
I've never even seen one as an NPC.
they are a Magic the Gathering creature.
And they're blue geniuses, and they're meant to be wizards.
And they have no
And-
ears, and they're bald.
They've got advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saves. They've got proficiency in Arcana, History, Investigation, Medicine, Performance, or Sleight of Hand. That is a huge selection. And they
And
add a
not only-
D4.
Yeah.
They add a D4 to that roll on the one
They also
pick.
get one tool of your choice.
And then they absorb oxygen through their skin and can breathe underwater for an hour.
You know what? I say
Honestly, put it with
they're
12.
they're kind of put in the same thing where like they're
Oh.
only good for like one kind of like class, which is basically like a spellcaster,
Yeah,
I
which is
said
kind
put
of
it with Tortle, and
which
that's
is
where I put
which is
it.
kind of the same as a
Yes.
bugbear. So I'll put it with the bugbears.
yeah. Put behind the bugbear. It's a save, so I don't think it really has gone for it.
I don't know where we put both.
Yeah. The bugbear. It's in C. It's in C between right.
gotcha.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's nothing glamorous to it. All right, Warforge.
That's chair. It's not even fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just-
Warforge is way too strong right out the gate.
Way too
Wait.
strong, and also like people like most. Every single person who plays it is a minimaxer. You just put any personality into the character at all because because
You
it
can't really
makes
put
sense.
personally into it.
You are a sweaty power gamer if you play as Warforged. Your balls sweat, your ass sweats, and your
Pretty
face
much.
is covered in sweat.
It's S
Either
tier,
that
not
or
fun.
like you're still on like your steampunk kick from like the 2000s.
And let me
S
guess,
tier, not even fun.
you're playing as a robot who's trying to learn how to be human. All right, very creative. I've seen this Warforged done so many times, and
Oh, a Warforged sociopath. Cool. Go ahead.
yeah, this
Awesome.
is the only race I have seen that has been consistently banned at more than, we'll say, 75% of games I've joined as a player have banned Warforged because it's too fucking strong right out the gate. I'd
Yep.
say S tier, not fun, behind the turtle.
Yep. Move it.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say
it's
above the
just
turtle.
just play the Reborn. Just play as the Reborn instead. Just do that
Are we
instead.
doing the Reborn or no?
Well, no, we're not doing
No,
the
it's
Reborn
not
for
on
this
yet.
video,
Yeah, no.
but yeah. All right. Now, okay, now here's the one we've all been waiting for. You want Pure Blood? All
It's
right.
S.
Oh, you want pure blood?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Magic
S
resistance.
tier-
Magic resistance. You have advantage on all save throws against like abilities and magic. That's amazing.
S tier above Changeling.
Well, doesn't Yuan-Ti pure blood, or is it just regular Yuan-Ti that has the poison immunity?
That every Yuan-Ti does.
It does. Okay.
That-
With
I
in
mean,
terms
giving
of
immunity as a fucking
Roll-ups,
racial
right?
feature. That's
no,
insane.
there's no immunity with the Yuan-Ti. It's
yeah, it's
no hold on. Yeah, Nivol's guide. Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
There
right
is.
here.
And
Boom.
along with that, immunity to poison condition. Just that route the gate, along with poison spray, animal friendship, even though it only works with snakes, and suggestion as innate spells. Well, granted, I'm not going to say this is S tier, not fun, because it stops there. The buck stops there. You don't get anything else besides that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, though.
Languages.
Yeah. You are stacked, but that's it. That's as far as it goes. So the Yuan-Ti, oh yeah.
I find any class that gives you more than common and one other language is a pretty good class. Race.
You play as a snake Illuminati.
That magic resistance is you can make like that. Just right there just gives it S tier completely.
Yeah, that alone. That could have been its only ability, and it still would be an S tier for that.
Exactly right. So,
do you know how good I've been saying this for years. You know how good the poison condition is.
That fucks you up for life. That messes you up so badly.
That's how I almost TPK'd the party of 5 with imps. Poisoned condition.
The poison condition. Once you got that, your rules are just down the toilet for the entire combat encounter. It's why I don't know. Having a poisoner's kit is one of the best things you can do as a player character, and having proficiency in that.
That's why I find druids so lackluster, because there's not a lot of poisonous animals you can shift into.
Yeah, just
that give the poison condition.
Turn to a scorpion or turn to a snake and just have somebody squeeze the venom out of your mouth into a cup, and then just hang on to that, and then wait to spike somebody's drink with that.
Most of the stuff that you can turn into, according to the rule books, they don't give you the poison condition. It's only poison damage.
Yeah. And we have a little bit of time left, so
where's the crescendo?
Let's see. So just gonna shotgun these off in terms of races that are not on this tier list but exist in D&D. All right. Autonome, S tier, not fun.
Oh, we're doing
Spelljammer. Yep. So everything we just said about the Warforged, that is double with the Autonome. You take the Warforged and you make it even stronger. That's what the Autonome is.
I haven't played much of the
okay.
Yeah. Autonome is banned. Banned. No, never would I ever let somebody play as that. The GIF, the Hippo people. You only get, say, a reroll on ones when you deal melee damage and athletic build. That C tier below the Tabaxi. So I put that. See here, how does Z? you get gliding speed, along with a few proficiencies. The How to Z is good. Play the How to Z. I did it before, and I quit that game because the GM was terrible. You also get the How to Z dodge, where you can, as a reaction, roll a d6 and reduce the damage you take by that roll.
All right, I got it going. I'll see you guys later.
Get out of here, Dan. We'll see you
Good night,
later.
dude.
Hey,
All right, thanks for the letting me participate.
Guest spot.
and stuff.
No problem.
Where's the how do I fucking get out of here?
See, you hit the disconnect button.
That
Okay,
button
there we
right
go.
there.
See you later.
Yeah, you found it. So the How to Z, I would put that in A tier, just for the glide and that dodge ability. Plasmoid, you're silly putty. You can
I
meld through
love-
objects. You're amorphous.
I love
Yeah, Plasmoid's cool.
Plasmoid.
That's S tier, just for that amorphous ability to shape self.
As long as you don't try to play as a stupid Isekai character, I'm good.
See, that
Damn
time
it!
That time I got reincarnated as a
Shots
slime.
fired.
That time Bacchus reincarnated me as a slime.
We love you, Bacchus. Thrycreen. Let's see. Chameleon Carapace. The natural armor, not that glamorous, but I don't know, advantage on stealth saving throws with the Carapace.
Fuck. Where
Along
did I
with
say
a
that?
second-
Were so good in second edition.
Yeah,
They were
they're
so
just as-
good.
They're just as good as 5e because they have the second arms. They don't sleep, and they have telepathy up to 120 feet.
If I recall
Um,
correctly, the second arms in second edition provided additional attacks.
Yeah, not in this game, but at the same time, I don't know, just hold your spellbook in your wand with it.
Yeah. No, there's definitely utility.
Yeah. So, Thrycreen would be S tier too. Just for, I don't know, not sleeping and
They're
that
also
your GM can no longer
super
fucking
cool to
ambush you.
play. They're really fun to play.
Oh yeah, that Curse of Strahd game I've been telling you about. If I wasn't playing Mad Rat, I was going to play as a Thrycreen for that game.
Yeah.
Because I noticed I play a lot of Aliens Night GM's games. I'm a guy who doesn't believe that aliens exist, and I keep playing as aliens.
It's roleplay for a
and-
reason. I mean,
See-
I don't think elves exist, but I still play elves.
See, am I?
I-
And
My DM that I'll be playing on Wednesday, his shifters didn't exist in his world, and I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I play a shifter?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. I just gotta think of how to do things."
and boom, go ahead. And let's add two more onto this. Let's add the fairy and let's add the Herringon.
I wish
So,
the fairy was better.
Yeah, the fairy. The Unearthed Arcana was incredible. Now it's just a semi decent B class.
Yeah.
It's B tier.
I would have really enjoyed if they gave the fairy a bunch of negative traits and some really strong positive traits.
Something like a Gish. That'd be a
Something
fun
like
thing to do.
-2 to strength. Like
they
you
used to
get the
do with kobolds
and
and
you were
goblins.
You were size tiny.
you
Oh,
literally can't
fuck.
wear armor. Like you can't even use weapons. There you go. You
That is a
cannot use
huge.
weapons.
I didn't even think about that. That is a huge downside for goblins and kobolds.
What's that?
What'd you look at?
Oh,
Small.
the size?
The size, not the size. Their negative traits. They get
Yeah.
negative stuff to their.
Yeah, and old
stuff.
rules, of course.
Yeah, but didn't they phase that out? They kind of
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's been
but
phased
see,
out.
we were doing this tier list based on
The older
not.
ones.
Well, when are you
not
going
against
to use
some
a
of
great
them.
sword with the kobold?
Where did you post that chat? Did you send it to
What-
me?
Is there post it? What you looking at?
Right here. Never mind. I
Yeah.
found it.
And the Herringon, I would just put that in C tier. The Herringon.
Oof.
Paragon.
I would say B.
That's a high.
Yeah,
That's a
I'd
high C tier. I'm gonna say it's the highest possible C I can give it. Given
Maybe. I don't
like-
know. I think Paragon's pretty decent. The leap is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
yeah,
The
But-
leap. See, that's the thing about leap. Everyone thinks it's I can just leap 20 feet. No.
No, fall damage.
Well, no. That's what I'm saying. People think it's bad because of the fall damage, but you're not using it in battle. It's not just up that you can leap. It's in any direction
Forward,
you can leap.
across
Forward,
pits.
backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can leap forward.
Or if you do leap up, it's to get to ledges that are 20 feet up.
Yeah,
That's fair.
A player I had in Spelljammer had the Heron Goddess's race, and he used that to hop between Spelljammer ships.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, it's got good movement, but if we're putting the Tabaxi in C tier, then the Heron Gun would also be the highest possible C tier I can give it.
Yeah, but
Well,
at the same time, I think Heron God's movement is better than Tabaxi's movement.
It is.
Like
It
a
is.
jump that high is way better than a climb speed.
And your dexterity throw, you can add a D4 if you think you're gonna fail, or
Yeah.
if it does fail.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's our tier list that nobody's going to agree with.
Oh, not to mention,
No.
hair trigger. You can add proficiency bonuses to your initiative roll. That is huge.
That
is
is
true.
nice.
That is very
It
good.
is nice. At the same time, you actually have to roll well though.
And I can LARP as Usagi Yojimbo, which
Yep.
I mean, come on.
It is that would be a very fun player character to see.
I had that design already. I just hadn't gotten a chance to play it.
It's D&D. You can just steal designs and characters from other stuff and play as them as player characters, and it's perfectly okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love D&D. There's no expectations for me going to play it.
Let's see if I got it. Let's see if I took it. I did.
What'd you do?
I mean, we don't have to show this, but I made a monster based off gene splicing character that I had. So it was like a dungeon crawl type character. They would go into a dungeon, you'd fight various monsters, and his job was to collect monsters for the researcher. And while he was doing that, the researcher would go through and pick out all the weaknesses and stuff of this particular monster, of that monster. But what he would do is he would take and either breed or splice genetic materials to make what we call the hybrid. And it's pretty fucking good. It's something I wouldn't put on a low-level party. It's definitely a level 20 beast. So I can show you guys later. But
well, I can stop recording right now and we can just shoot the shit after this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to go to bed for another 30 minutes.
All right, that's it. I'm pulling the plug. I'm recording.
Yeah. Have a good night,
guys.
All right, GN. Just gotta save this. How do you stop recording with script? That script. What am I talking about? All right, stop recording.